Video lecture number 3, 1.1, An Astrologer's Day by R.K. Narayan. Hello dear students and dear friends. In my last video lecture, I started with the first prose lesson 1.1, An Astrologer's Day by R.K. Narayan, and I discussed the icebreakers of this lesson. I introduced you the writer R.K. Narayan and the lesson An Astrologer's Day 2 in my last video lecture. Friends, today too I will continue with the same lesson 1.1, An Astrologer's Day by R.K. Narayan. Today I will tell you the summary of this lesson, and I will also do the critical analysis of this lesson. Before summarizing the lesson An Astrologer's Day, I would like to revise certain important points of this lesson, and they are: point number 1, the present story An Astrologer's Day by R.K. Narayan is very simple in style and it has subtle humor too. Point number 2, this story An Astrologer's Day is the story of an astrologer, as its title itself indicates this. Point number 3, this story deals with the moral that we should never believe in superstitions and predictions about our future life. And the last important point is, that is point number 4, this story has ironic elements where the astrologer pretends to have supernatural knowledge that coincidentally turns out to be truth. Now let's turn towards the summary. I would like to tell you the summary of this story An Astrologer's Day. It was the midday time and the astrologer was sitting in the crowded market under the widely spread branches of the tamarind tree near the town hall beside the road. He was with his usual equipments. The astrologer was with his usual equipments like dozens of cowrie shells, a square piece of cloth with mystic signs on it, a notebook, and the handful pictures of palm writings. His forehead was shining with the sacred ash and the vermilion or kumkum. He was wearing a saffron colored turban around his head. Because of this, the people in the market were very much attracted towards him. At the time or at the time of the darkness, by the dusk, he would carry his business by the light of the fire of a groundnut seller who was next to him in the market. At the time of the darkness, by the dusk, means in the evening, this astrologer would carry his business by the light of the fire of a groundnut seller who was next to him in the market. There was no municipal lightning there in the market. The place was lit up by the shop lights only. Actually, this astrologer didn't intend to be an astrologer, but he became the astrologer accidentally. He didn't know anything about the stars like his innocent customers. But still, he behaved as if he knows everything about the stars and he has the supernatural knowledge. His words would always please his customers. It was just the matter of his study, practice, and brilliant understanding of the people. He had a working analysis of people's mind and their troubles like marriage, money, and the tangles of their relationships. I repeat, he had working analysis of people's troubles like marriage, money, and the tangles of their relationships. His long practice has sharpened his understanding of the people. His long practice has sharpened his understanding of the people. He would always let the people talk themselves first for 10 minutes. He would listen the people attentively and then he will tell about their future precisely within 5 minutes. He would charge 3 pies per question to his customers. By the time of the darkness and the winding up and the time to go home, a man came to him as his client. This new client was quite typical and rough by nature. The new client was not interested in other things like his nature and so on, just like other clients. This new client told the astrologer to tell him whether he will succeed in his present search of a person who once tried to kill him to take his revenge or not. This new client told the astrologer to tell him whether he will succeed in his present search of a person who once tried to kill him to take his revenge or not. As the astrologer has recognized who he was, and the name of that man was Guru Nanak, he told that man that the person whom he was searching to take his revenge was no more, and he was crushed under a lorry. The astrologer gave that man a pinch of sacred ash to apply it on his forehead and warned that person, that client, never to travel southward again, otherwise his life will be in danger. The man was pleased to know that his worst enemy, whom he was searching to take his revenge, received what he deserved. The man gave some coins to the astrologer and went off in the night. Then the astrologer reached his home by midnight. He gave those coins to his wife. His wife was very much pleased to see them. After dinner, while sitting on the stringed cot, he told his wife that he was relieved from the great burden today. He also told her that he had tried to kill a man when he was a silly youngster, and he thought that the man was dead. As he was afraid of the further happenings, he ran away from his home and settled there, married her, and changed his appearance and persona and became an astrologer. But now he felt that he is relieved of that burden of the murder of a man greatly, as that man was not dead but he was alive, and he himself saved from the revenge of that person too. Means the astrologer had saved his life from the revenge of that man. When his wife listened this, she was shocked and surprised to hear all this. Dear friends, in fact, this astrologer himself had tried to kill that man or that client once in the past, but coincidentally that client was saved from his death, and finally the astrologer too saved himself from the revenge and the danger of that client or that man, and he also felt relieved from the burden of that man's murder by him. So naturally he feels as if it was his day, and so the title of this story is An Astrologer's Day. Now I would like to do the critical analysis of this story. As in my earlier video lecture, I stated that R.K. Narayan's writing has 4 characteristics, as number 1 humor, number 2 unoffending irony, number 3 a unique Indianness, and number 4 a charming and authentic simplicity. These are same 4 features of his writings are found in this story An Astrologer's Day. Now let's discuss these 4 features of R.K. Narayan's writings from this story in detail, or in this story in detail, or from the point of view of this story in detail. Number 1, humor. We find humor in this story An Astrologer's Day. This story is humorous. The humor is created by unoffending irony in this story. While reading this story, we laugh when we read the statements like, number 1, he knew no more of what was going to happen to others than he knew what was going to happen to himself the next minute. Second sentence, his eyes sparkled with a sharp, abnormal gleam, which was really an outcome of a continual searching look for customers, but which his simple clients took to be a prophetic light and felt comforted. The second feature of this story is an unoffending irony, or unoffending irony, or ironic elements. This story has ironic elements too. What is irony? Irony means a situation or a statement which is characterized by a significant difference between what is expected and what actually happens, or a significant difference between what is understood and what is meant. Now, here are some examples of ironic elements. Here, the astrologer's client and the readers are expecting that this astrologer has a great knowledge of the stars, but actually the fact is that he knows nothing about the stars. Secondly, the astrologer's client and the readers are expecting him to have a profound knowledge about the future of his customers, but actually the fact is that he himself doesn't know what is going to happen him the next minute. This is called irony. Irony is a figure of speech also. There are many examples of irony in this story. I give one more. The statement, he knew no more of what was going to happen to others than he knew what was going to happen himself, or what was going to happen to himself the next minute. These are the examples of irony. Now you find out the rest of the examples from the textbook on your own. Now number 3, a unique Indianness. The background of this story is completely Indian. The main character and other characters in the story are also purely Indians. The description of the market in the town near the town hall in the story is an Indian bazaar or the Indian market in an Indian town that we all experience. Moreover, the language used in this story contains many Indian words like cowrie shells, pies, anna, rupee, chirut, jutka, etc. It is called code mixing. What is code mixing? When the words from 2 or more different languages are used in one sentence, it is called code mixing. The last important point, the fourth one, is a charming and authentic simplicity. The way the story is narrated is very simple. The language and the words in the story are also not so difficult. The story is narrated and written in such a way that it appears to be authentic or real. This story, or while reading this story, we feel that we are there in the market of that town and watching all the happenings with the astrologer. This is what the story all about. Now I would like to discuss the margin activities. So open your textbook of English and see the margin activities on page number 3. But before that, I would like to suggest you to read this lesson line by line in detail twice, and then solve these margin activities or the activities in the brainstorming at home and write them with their answers in your register or logbook of English. Now see the first margin activity. You can also read these margin activities on the screen in front of you. Now see the first margin activity. If the astrologer had stayed in the village, then he would have carried on. Now I tell you the answer. The answer of this margin activity is, he would have carried on the work of his forefathers, namely tilling the land, living, marrying, and ripening in his cornfield and ancestral home. Now the second margin activity number 2, that is given in the blue margin. The astrologer could understand the problem in 5 minutes. How? Now I tell you the answer. The astrologer had a working analysis of mankind's troubles like marriage, money, and the tangles of the human ties. His long practice and his long practice had sharpened the way he perceived things. His long practice had sharpened his long practice. The astrologer's long practice has sharpened the way he perceived things, and thus he could understand the problem in 5 minutes. And the last margin activity on this page is guess the meaning. Pies. Pies is the plural form of pie, and pie was a former bronze coin of India. Pies is the plural form of pie, and pie was a former bronze coin of India. It was the 12th part of an anna. So friends, we should stop here. In my next video lecture, I will discuss the remaining margin activities and the activities in the brainstorming section also. So I stop here. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.